I'm Kent Molgat, joined by Pete MacLeod from Change Gamers.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing great, Pete. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
So I've gone on to the site of Change Gamers. I've done my best to get a grasp of what it's all about, but why don't you define it for us? What is Change Gamers?
Change Gamers is a networking platform, or more simply, an app that allows youth to connect with community events, charities, connect with their schools, and really endorsing them to make a positive impact on their community and hopefully in a bigger picture, the world. So,
Right.
yeah.
So positivity.
Yeah.
I think I'm a parent.
Yes.
A lot of parents out there are looking at social media and these smartphones in our kids' hands, and positivity isn't always the first word that comes up. It dominates kids' time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes over when homework should be getting done.
Yeah.
Kids are more interested in their Snap Streak than tomorrow's science test.
Yes.
And then there's all sorts of negative influences out there. So positivity, that's what this is built on? Tell me about that.
That's what this is built on. It's when talking about technology and talking about Instagram and Snapchat and all these things that youth have access to, I think it's really easy to and obvious when we start talking about the negative effects of it, because obviously there are bad parts of Instagram that make kids self-conscious or are distracting them from homework. But technology can actually be used for good, and the idea with Change Gamers and the I Can app is that we capture that positivity and push it out to schools and students and kind of fill that void where positive influence isn't necessarily at their fingertips.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so the idea is to get young people
Yep.
in the age range of 10 to 18
Yeah.
to come up with an area where they see there should be positive change, right?
Yes, and giving them the tools to do that. So on the app, there are educational articles, things like that, talking about whether that's local issues or environmental issues around the world, but then also giving them tools and action items that they can then go make that change and see that change happen. So whether that's a simple thing like hold the door open for 5 people today, right? Do this like simple act of kindness and share it with us and tell us how that made you feel, or tell someone that they looked nice today, or even on a bigger scale, host a fundraiser with your friends and donate it to a charity of your choice and let us know how that made you feel. And so really empowering them. So spreading positivity, but also empowering them to go out and do it.
Okay, so yeah, your 2 examples. One was just let's just try behaving in a certain way, and the other could be let's plan a specific event.
Yes.
And you start doing that. That's when you might need finances behind it. So there's also you get corporate sponsorship, which can help finance projects that kids might come up with.
We encourage kids to do these projects on their own or with their schools. Lots of schools have like a leadership or a social entrepreneurship class. So we really encourage them to reach out and connect with their teachers or the principals and their fellow peers to run these events. On our side, though, we do have corporate partners who are willing to match some donations that are made through the platform. So we call them our reward sponsors. So with a reward sponsor, the idea that we share with businesses is now you can help enable a youth to make a bigger impact and inspire them and be that business that's helping them do that. So,
right. And you've got businesses that are showing an interest in this.
Yes, we are. Chatting with businesses, it's tough to get them to not be interested in helping youth make the world a better place. So it has been connecting, and our current partners are very excited with what's been happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now you do business as a social enterprise as opposed to a non-profit.
Yeah.
Help define that for us and why you've gone the route you've gone.
Well, the question comes up a lot if we're a nonprofit, and when we say for-profit, unfortunately, kind of corporate and people question what we're doing.
You're trying, like
right?
You're trying to just make money on kids.
Exactly, and that's not what we're doing. So as a social enterprise, we're very community first, impact first, but we also exist within the rules of a for-profit. So we're not we're not thinking of like the taxing things that come with charities.
Right.
When you become a registered charity, there's a lot more examination of what you do with the funds, right? Only a certain amount of funds can actually go into your business, and the rest go out to programming.
Right.
So we are very sustainable.
Well, you're shooting for sustainability, because I wanted to ask you about this sort of how this is working as a company.
Right.
I take it that it is a work in progress still. You've been around for a while, but
yes. Jason Richards, our owner and co-founder, kind of came up with the idea about 3 years ago now. But it's always been, how do we do this and stay sustainable? But the sustainability is simply not to put money into our pockets. We're not trying to do this to, as you said, like get rich off kids. We're doing this to create more programming for youth and get them more engaged.
right.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to get involved, how would they go about it? What's your suggestion? Go onto your site and then click the I Can app.
People as in students or
parents,
parents?
kids. If this sounds interesting to them, what's the first step?
If they want to contact us, they can contact us at hello@changegamers.com. In terms of getting a youth on the site or checking out the site, it's icanapp.com, and then anyone can sign up.
Right, and I take it from our earlier conversation that most of the traction you are getting in terms of getting community involvement is through the schools. So obviously the schools like what you're doing.
The schools love what we're doing. We abide by something called the Child Online Privacy and Protection Act, or COPPA, and that protects the identity of a child. So every conversation we've had with a school board, when we say we have an app for kids, obviously the gates go up because they're trying to protect the youth, as they should. By following COPPA, we do not collect any personally identifiable information. So we're not looking for addresses or the names or phone numbers or anything like that. So a youth is able to go onto the platform completely anonymous and still make a difference. So schools love that. So we have been going through the school districts. We just went out to New Brunswick, and teachers from all over the province came together for sort of a social entrepreneurship workshopping day, and we presented the ICANN app and how teachers can use that in their classrooms, and they can stay engaged and keep track of what the students are doing instead of printing out 100 different worksheets that get handed out and then get marked off and then thrown in the trash. They can now totally track it on the app.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And when kids have gotten involved and got their own project going and gotten the kind of supports and the feedback through your app, have you sort of seen how that sort of affects their development as young people?
The example that comes to mind right away is that we got a really wonderful email from a parent who said, "Thank you so much, but I want you to know that you've also made my child now like the police on shutting off all the lights in the house." Right? And one of the challenges we put off was make sure all the lights are off in the house. Don't for not wasting energy. And she said, now my child is following us around and giving us a hard time whenever we don't. So parents, and hearing those stories from the parents has been really fulfilling, and what makes us continue what we're doing. So
terrific.
Yeah.
Pete, thanks very much for coming in. That's Pete MacLeod from Change Gamers. You're watching KelownaNow.com.